Hello, everybody. Oh, we were a little late. Apologies. We had a few technical difficulties.
Yes.
But we are here with the incomparable, unstoppable.
Oh my gosh. And the courageous conversationalist.
Exactly.
Oh.
Tracy Schmitt, who is just, someone I really admire and someone whom I really find to be a person that has a lot to share on this planet. I mean, you really, really do. And listen, as you see this, as you come on, as you see this, I just want you to share this, share, because sharing is caring, and this information is, I believe, very, very important. Very, very important. Thank you so much. Girls need to be
fine.
Okay, good. Girls need to be women need to be with each other in this regard. And I want to say, I one of the things I know is that it's probably just annoying to hear people say you're an inspiration. It's like you hear it all the time, probably, right?
I do, and it's very thoughtful and it's super well intended.
However,
what's more important? Way more important, that is, instead of being inspired by me, be inspired to take action. Be inspired,
that's right.
Like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
No excuses.
And is there a story you can tell? Because I mean, oh my God, this woman, what you've done is, you've done sailing, unbelievable sailing competitions, right?
Yeah, like World Cup regattas. Paralympic trials was magnificent.
Oh my God.
World Cup regattas with Viking strong men, majority, because it's a male-dominated sport.
Right, of course it is. Oh my gosh. And you've climbed Himalaya, and and why do you do all these incredibly scary things that I would find incredibly challenging and scary? What's that about?
Oh my gosh. A lot of people think, you talk about courageous conversations,
yes.
A lot of people think that I have this courage.
Yes.
And
is it courage? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
And then courage is in spite of the fear. And so it took me a long time. In the 20s and the 30s, I thought I was fooling everybody, and so they all thought I was doing it without courage. And I'm like, yeah, but I was inside feeling like a big liar. The reality is, I am scared out of my mind.
Are you? Yes.
But I do it anyway.
But just because you're fearful, doesn't mean you are a fraud.
Exactly.
You're just scared, but you're doing it anyways.
And that's courage. Courage is doing it in spite of the fear.
Good.
And courage is like, feeling uncertain is no excuse for inaction. And I learned this really early.
Say that again. Fear and being uncertain is no excuse for inaction.
Exactly.
Okay.
Feeling uncertain is no excuse for inaction. I don't know how I'm going to sail a boat. I don't know how I'm going to have a successful business. I don't know how I'm going to share the stage with Jane Fonda. Right? I know.
Whoa.
Like, how amazing
Isn't she
was
amazing?
that? And she was amazing.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal.
She's a really cool lady, too. She's just a renegade in her own right.
Yes. Oh, and she was a renegade that day. We were there.
What did she do?
It was like future possibilities for children. Was the intention of the top 10 events.
Very nice.
Stuart Knight hosts.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
But she totally talked about Trudeau doing piping through Canada. Like, she took that as a platform.
She went for it.
Yes, full on.
Well, listen, she in the 70s was full on, and she doesn't. What I love about people like her, like yourself, is obstacles don't cause her or you and me, because obstacles have been part of my life too, to become discouraged and embittered.
No, and and I'm very lucky to be born a person with a disability, because. And you just said it too. The obstacles to be embittered, and who I find so when I worked at Air Canada at Air Canada, and there was a big strike, and then we go bankrupt like all the airlines. And so the solution of the Canadian government is one airline's going to live, and it was decided that Canadian Airlines would merge in with Air Canada. Well, the Canadian Airlines folk, they had all merged with Virgin Airlines and with Ward Air, and they had been through several mergers, and they were really great about, okay, it's happening, let's embrace it and let's roll with it and let's make it work. Whereas the Air Canada agents, they had been untouchable for over the 30 years, and they hadn't been through change, and they really resisted at first. And so it's funny that people that live through strife of some kind.
Right.
And so maybe it was me with artificial legs, or maybe it's someone coming out of the closet because they're homosexual, or maybe it's somebody that's had some adversity with their parents or a rough employer.
Right.
And they lived through it, and they realize they lived through it. They got through it. And so when the next thing comes, they know. So I know I was petrified to leave home to go to university at 18.
Right.
And I bawled my eyes out. And then I know when I went to the Himalayas, it was scary, but I'd already had one small success. Well, then when I took off at 40 after captaining tall ships and
captaining tall ships.
Right, captaining tall ships. And you know what? You just embrace. Like I was 18, and there was a bunch of us as youth, and we go to
just do it.
Outer Hebrides in Eastern Atlantic, and the captain didn't like youth. And there was 18 to 24 of us, 22 of us.
Young people.
And I knew sailing. I was the only one.
Oh my gosh.
And so I supported the other people on learning the ropes on the tall ship. And he's like, oh, I don't want to talk to people. So you just take that over. And then his wife was pregnant on land and went into labor.
Oh my God. So he had to go.
He had to go. And he's just like, Tracy, you take over. You got this.
You got this.
And I got to captain tall ships and lead youth leadership groups.
Oh my gosh.
And I hadn't even graduated at that point. I was just out of high school. And so I came back to do leadership development.
Yeah.
And I thought it was with youth, and I did it with youth in Uganda, Nepal, and Jamaica, and around the world.
Yes.
But when I came back, that leadership skill, I ended up, Air Canada was on pilot strike, and they need the counteroffer no girl. Right? I hear no, like people just don't know K-N-O-W.
Uh-huh.
And I got that at kindergarten because all my life people say, oh, I'm sorry, Tracy won't be able to sit up. Tracy won't be able to walk. Tracy won't be able to join this school. Tracy won't be able to do this job. And that's okay.
Yeah.
They're not saying it maliciously. They're trying to set me up for success.
Right.
But avoiding failure does not set you up for success.
Can we say that again? Avoiding failure does not set you up for success.
No.
You know, people who don't fail is people who don't try.
Yes. And success is only somebody that tried one more time.
That's exactly right. I mean, I have to say, a lot of people who suffer from embitterment, what I would call the disease of embitterment.
It is a disease.
You know, are basically, they're convinced that, you know, it's basically messaging from your limbic system, from right here, from the back of the brain, which is, frankly, the back of the brain is great for war.
Yeah, it's reptilian. It's from caveman days.
Great for war, but it's not good for life.
No, we don't need fight or flight with every single second.
You don't want to be saying, what if this, and what if that, and what if this. I would say that the what if is just not, it's not helpful.
No.
What is helpful is,
go for it.
Go for it. Try it. Experience it.
How do you know unless you try?
Yeah.
We didn't know, like, so people who ski that have paralysis or missing their legs, they use their hands for outriggers. And so we had no idea how I was going to sit ski, for example, because I don't have my hands. So we didn't figure that out on a couch at home, right? We had to go for it. We had to get to the hill, and we didn't know. We still didn't know. My instructor, he had size 11 ski boots, so we took my legs off. We put my thighs in his ski boots backwards because I didn't have any toes, and it put me in the duck squat position of skiing, and that's how we did it. We weren't going to figure that out on a couch. We weren't going to problem solve that. And, you know, business is like that, too. You don't know where you're going to get the funding. You don't know where you're going to get the partners. You don't know how you're going to do social media because you feel like you have a story in your head. You're not tech savvy. You know, I used to say that to my coach, and you know how he solved it with me? It wasn't months and months and months of coaching. He said, okay, so repeat after me. You are great at technology. And he made me say that. And
I am great at technology.
You are great at technology. And you just say it till you believe it, and then you make it happen. Yeah. And you become great at technology.
I had no idea how to do this Facebook stuff.
No.
I just knew that I wanted to get my message out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do it in a convenient way.
Yes.
In a way that was just easy for me to do. And essentially, I did it. And by the way, everyone who's watching, just share this video widely because Tracy Schmitt, the unstoppable Tracy, is a person that I feel we all need to hear about. And you speak in corporations, etc. But this is a whole other thing. This is just speaking at this level. And so I just really want you to share. Share, because share on your groups, share on your pages, share with your friends. Call your friends and tell them that we're here, because essentially, to get this message out, and I will share this as well quite widely, as I know you will.
And I will too. Yeah. And right now you can just hit share on your page.
Exactly.
We have people all around the world watching. We have Betty Kelly from US.
Yes.
And you know, I'm independent.
And Leonardo Pugliese is in Valencia.
Yeah,
España.
Leonardo.
Yes, lovely Leonardo. And Michelle Belair, avoiding failure does not set you up for success. Exactly.
Way to go, Michelle.
There is no excuse for inaction. Hi, Marav. Thank you for liking. Please share the video. Let me ask you, do you have something for people in terms of something, a story or some information for people who are experiencing currently, right now, they're going there and they're sitting in their living room or in their bedroom or in their bed, and they're saying, yeah, I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it, and I'm not really good. Like, let's see, because I work with people who are depressed, anxious all the time, telling themselves the story that, I'm not worth it, I'm not valuable, I'm a burden, all that stuff.
Yes.
And so I want us to just sort of leave this experience for them to be not inspired, but at least like light a fire, like a nugget under their ass, so they can kind of get out of the BS that they're telling themselves.
Yes.
That is just it's not true. It's not true.
It's not true. And so, I remember driving to an incredible job that I absolutely loved. And it was an amazing contract. And we were really designing this whole new possibility, right? I was at Shoppers Drug Mart and pharmaceutical reform.
What were you doing?
And they had, because of pharmaceutical reform, the government had changed funding for pharmaceuticals from 75% to 25% overnight.
Wow.
So their major profit earner, 55% of their profits comes from pharmacy, they just got cut overnight.
Wow.
And so what are we going to do? And so I was a facilitator of focus groups designing new possibilities, and some incredible people came up with the brilliant idea of beauty and food and convenience, right? You see Shoppers Drug Mart, big box format.
Yeah.
So I essentially facilitated myself out of a job, and it was very successful, right? It was great, and it's the best successor ever is when people can launch independently.
Yeah.
But I was sitting in the parking lot. It's 11:30 in the morning. Have you ever cried because you were crying? Right? Like, it's not even about the job. Cry because you're crying out. I just want to stop crying. Right? And the reason I care so much because what you focus on grows. And so I knew by being that sad, I was just going to attract a lot more sadness into my life.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm allowed to be sad. This great job just ended. But I didn't want to drive home feeling like that.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I tried to focus on things that picked me up. And my niece and nephew were positive, but it didn't make me not sad about losing my job. And then I remembered sailing. And so I thought of sailing. So at 11:30 in the morning, I Googled, because it's October, and there's no sailing in Toronto, and there's no skiing in Toronto. And I found this sailing regatta in San Diego. Well, I jumped on a plane at 5:30 that night. I had no idea I was going to be sailing that weekend, because I didn't know I was going to be done my contract that day.
Wow.
And so I got on a plane, and when I went there, I discovered that the U.S. Paralympic coach was on the water, and she saw me sailing, and she put the bug in my ear about pursuing my Paralympic dream.
Oh my God.
And, all sorts of things.
That gives me chills.
Yes.
That gives me chills as you tell me that story.
And so you focus on it, and what can help you turn it around. And even though sailing wasn't the new path at the time, it was just a focus on grows. And, and if you believe you're exactly where you need to be, like
and
yesterday,
truly believe that,
and believe that. Yeah. Right? My car broke down on the side of a highway. And what really was great was I got over and no trouble. And the off-ramp was downhill. So I coasted right off the off-ramp to a nice safe spot. And CAA came really fast.
Okay.
And then so I went to Tim Hortons to regroup myself before I hit the road. And I ended up sitting in the Tim Hortons parking lot in Kingston. I don't know anybody there.
Oh.
I bumped into somebody I know. Wonderful man. A magical man named Vincent. And I was meant to be there.
Yeah.
Who thought that the breakdown, and I was meant to be there. I remember being on a crash in the water after many, many months of patching up a boat. And then this old guy kills my boat with his big steamboat. And I was devastated. It wasn't even my boat. It was a borrowed boat. And I'm like, oh my God, I now gotta make this, I gotta repair this boat. And I gotta get a new boat for this person whose boat I just destroyed by this other man. Well, you know what happened? While I was sad on the dock with my broken boat, was this man from Harkin, which is the best sort of supplier of sailing parts, saw me and said, oh, I'm really sorry that happened. And when I came back the next morning, my boat was better than it ever was before.
My God.
My lines were fed smoothly. My parts were all new unrusted. And he had just made over my boat.
He made over your boat?
He did this all-nighter, and he was this guru engineer that made things easier and smoother and seamless. And so my boat, if I hadn't have crashed, I wouldn't have got all those great improvements.
So what are you saying to us?
Is just believe you are exactly where you need to be, even in sadness.
Yes.
You're exactly where you need to be, and you believe that you're here because of that.
And you took yourself You were sad, but then you said, I'm going to San Diego. Where's my happy place?
What can I focus on that's just going to help me get out of this moment, at this mood? And for me, that was tea on the highway last night. And that day, it was flying to San Diego for a regatta.
Oh my gosh.
But it doesn't always have to be a flight. It was just a cup of tea and Tim Hortons.
Yes.
I'm such a teetotaler, and that always regroups me. And by just flipping my energy a little bit, I attracted this amazing, I wish it wasn't an attraction single girl thing. It was just a wonderful, magical person that always fills my soul. He's an amazing man.
Really helped.
Yeah.
And you just got to understand. So that just, I would say, what I really say to people is embitterment is your blocker.
Yes.
Embitterment is your blocker.
And focusing on it and sitting on it.
Cynicism is your blocker, and sitting with it and sitting with it and sitting with it.
Yeah.
And to me, what you did when you did that is you took your sadness.
Yes.
And you took that energy and you didn't let it evolve. Well, you let it evolve.
Yeah.
But you didn't let it evolve into the negative incarnation of itself.
Yes.
You let it evolve into the positive incarnation of itself. So anyone sitting there in a sense of not wellness, unhappiness, understand you got the power to magnify that energy toward the positive, always.
And it's very powerful, right? Like, so when I was sitting before I had my cup of tea, what happened is when I opened my tea, it didn't have any milk in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, all I need is this cup of tea. Like, I put so much energy
in the cup of tea.
Into the cup of tea that when I didn't have the milk and the energy and I ended up negative about my tea, I drove over a curb that I didn't see. And so I attracted more negative energy and I wasn't present to the fact that there was a curb right in front of me.
And don't take our word for it. Like, you have
Just
to try
live
this.
it. Yes.
You have to try this. You have to really try this.
And try small. Like, say, I love spaghetti and I'm visiting my sister tonight. I bet she's going to give me spaghetti dinner. And then when the dinner ends up being spaghetti and what you believed came true, or you believe, you know what, the road ahead is going to be clear. Or at Christmas time, that parking spot at Yorkdale Mall is going to be there for me. I'm not going to be in the back of the lot.
Right.
Or it's not going to be, today I looked out the window and it was raining and I spent all this time straightening my hair.
Me too. Well,
sassy
there it is.
It's
going to be,
and it was raining.
It is what it is.
And I'm like, but the second I walk out the door, it's not going to be raining. And it wasn't. It paused for me to get into my car so that I didn't arrive at your house with rainy frizzy hair. I got to arrive here with my silky hair. You can tell me if it still looks lovely or not.
You do look lovely.
Well, thank you.
And so the theme is what you focus on expands.
Yes.
What
and
you
it's
focus
okay
on
to be
expands.
sad about losing your job.
Yeah.
But what are you going to focus on?
Yeah. Give yourself some time to focus on the sadness for a moment.
Yeah.
I say timed grieving is a good idea.
Yeah.
Timed grieving. So grieve for, 15, 20, 30 minutes, something like that.
Yep.
Whatever
I sat in that Tim Hortons parking lot for an hour.
That's right. So sit with it for an hour, whatever it is that, I don't want you to do it for days.
No.
Because the neural pathways start to really hear that energy and start to groove into that. Give yourself an hour, half hour, an hour to just feel like crap.
Yes.
Okay? But then I do it through my affirmations. I do affirmations. I read some rune card stuff. I meditate.
Yep. I do all of those things.
Yeah.
In the mirror, you look at yourself and you say, you can do it.
Yeah.
And, I am.
My favorite one.
People want to pay me big bucks to be on their stage.
That's right.
Right?
People do want to pay you big bucks to be on their stage.
Thank you. And
I'll say it right back to her.
It.
Yeah, I love this first one. I am treasured, valued, and worthy no matter what I say, think, or do.
Nice.
Because, the gremlins of, I'm not worthy, and whatever it may be, who the hell do I think I am anyways?
Why do they want to hear me?
Yeah, why do they want to hear me? Exactly.
And you got to get rid of those thoughts because that's what happens. That's the conversation. Why do they want to hear you?
Yeah, why do they want to hear? Well, they want to hear you because you got lots to offer.
Yes.
You've got experience. I actually sat with my husband and said, the unstoppable Tracy Schmitt, she's been on stage with these great people, with Jane Fonda, and I just simply asked her because I think she's awesome. And she said yes, that she wants to be on Courageous Conversations.
Yes.
And I was like a fangirl going, oh my God, this amazing woman is coming to my home.
And it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I had a booking. I was supposed to be somewhere this morning.
Oh.
And then,
right.
And then the Teddy Roosevelt Jr., which is so amazing.
Right.
I'm at an event with him tonight at the Fairmont across from the Union Station.
Fabulous.
Prestigious venue.
Yes.
And the famous Teddy Roosevelt. And not because he lost his leg and he can afford big buck fancy legs and I'm with my Pinocchio knees, but because he is obviously from the presidential family, right? He's a famous man.
Such a famous guy.
But because that happened, the distance from my morning venue was too great. And I tried to make it all fit in, and they're like, Tracy, we can't change the time. We'd rather you come back next week. So I was going to go next week, and it cleared up my morning. And the second that morning cleared up, guess who asked me within 2 minutes of that?
And I had this come open all of a sudden. I said, who am I going to get? I want somebody inspiring.
The universe manifested all, lined us all up.
And you, the one thing I love about you is you have a disposition that even, we had traffic issues, you had all the, Waze was sending you down the wrong way, all this stuff. You really, I think, do you work on your positive disposition? Is that what you work on, or is that just natural to you?
As you see, it doesn't seem like I'm a shy person, right? I clearly seem really outgoing.
Okay.
But a secret is that I didn't even talk until I was 2. So what I think I learned that people are looking like, like everybody's always dumbfounded, and they're oh my goodness, and then there's sadness, and people often even spontaneously cry when they see me on the street, right from a very little girl. It still happens today.
Today, really.
So I realized that I could either just be like overwhelmed by that, or if I could flip them, I could get them out of my space really quick. And if I could stop them crying, my life was a lot better for that. So I learned as a very little girl really quickly that if I could see somebody before the tears, if I could see their, I would be like, hello, how are you? I'm Tracy. And if I could say a happy hello before they went down that second later, because you're talking about the reptilian limbic brain, and everything comes in information and senses, right? Like we hear bats that fly blind because there's waves, and those waves turn into an energy, and the energy sends one synapsis to another synapsis. I don't know all the fancy doctor. Thank you, synapse. And between the neurons in your brain, and then we have a thought about what that energy wave creates, and we create a meaning. But it is our thought that creates meaning that then sends a meaning to our limbic system, to our reptilian brain. So if we create a thought like, oh my gosh, that's awful, then our reptilian fight or flight brain sends an emotional reaction to our gut. And like if somebody cuts us off and we think jerk, then forevermore there's this pattern. And then we stop thinking about it. We skip a step and we just go with the way we're feeling. And so we have all these things in our past. So if I see someone with big eyes, I could say, oh my goodness, they're staring at me. Or I could say, oh, hello. And I'm like, oh, I get to flip this person. I get to be excited, and I get to turn their day around, and it's better for both of us. And now it's like, so my fight or flight.
You found the solution. You found the way in.
As a little girl that just wants to get through the door without a conversation with an adult that's going to spend 20 minutes with my mom, giving her empathy or giving me sympathy.
Right.
I'm just a kid on a front lawn that wants to play with the kids on that lawn.
Right.
And so I had to figure out how am I going to get over there. Not because I'm heroic, not because there's some big challenge, not because I'm inspiring. I just want to play. I just want to play.
Yeah. You're human and you want to belong.
Yeah. So there's a skateboard. Nobody's with it. I'm going to bum my way over the grassy lawn that doesn't hurt. That's not heroic. It doesn't hurt to bum shuffle on a grassy lawn.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit on the skateboard because there's a driveway, and I'm fearless because I'm a kid and I don't know any better.
Right.
And if I sit on the skateboard, it's going to take me down a driveway to that kid's lawn, right? Who knew there might be a car passing by, but I didn't care because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so I skateboard with gravity over to the other lawn. And then I play.
Yeah.
And then those are the kids that I go to kindergarten with, and we hang out together. And I never thought in a million years as a kid that they might not want to play with me.
So let me ask you this. Would you say that courage is an inherently human trait that anybody can have?
Anybody can
Or
have.
is it reserved for those who are born with resiliency? Or what? Is it innate to us?
People think courage is without fear. Oh my gosh, I'm really scared. So you do the fight or flight.
I think it's because you're afraid you have courage.
Exactly. And so I think people that have been able to test that, like going to the Himalayas of Nepal, right, even on the plane, the 24 hours before going and the whole 24-hour flight getting there, I asked myself the whole time, what the heck am I doing? Yeah. I didn't go there with some big crew or team. There was me and my 19-year-old, 18-year-old self and a bandana, and I went with, with Heartwood. Like, I went with a bunch of people I didn't even really know, and we didn't know how I was going to trek for 9 days. And we figured out, well, it was better to leave my legs in Kathmandu. It was better to just do it on my stumps.
Yes.
It was better to just do it on my knees.
Yeah,
right? Your big long legs are just harder. I got it a lot easier doing it shorter, right? Skiing's easier, shorter. Sailing's easier with less body parts to get in the way when you're in a tiny little 2.4.
Yeah.
And so all these big, long-legged, handsome Viking men from Norway and Denmark and
so fear
yes.
is what was there, but courage came from fear.
From doing it. And Nepal was incredible, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing. And everything I did when I climbed the first time, or when I sailed the first time, or when I talked to a teacher that was really angry, or when I talked to the cute boy on the dance floor, and
love it.
Right? Like all of the things that are afraid. So the more risks you take, and in your youth, that's why recreation is so important. It's a place where you can take risk in a safe way, and you can realize that you survived.
Yeah.
And that just because you were feeling uncertain, it wasn't an obstacle, it wasn't a roadblock. So it's great to do things that scare you a little and feel like a risk, because it gives you realize, like Canadian Airlines that went through a whole bunch of mergers, you realize. So people that have had adversity, they're forced to face their fears because there's no way around it. And so
forced essentially.
And then they get the bonus of the insight that it's okay afterwards.
That's right.
So
they get a memory. They
yes.
get a memory, a new memory that you've overcome something.
And it's no problem. And the more memories like that, the better. So you know who really struggles after high school? The top football player or the beautiful cheerleader.
They had it easy.
Right? And they had it easy, and they're gorgeous, and they're smart, and everybody likes them.
Yeah.
And then they're the ones, in a stereotypical way, but statistically it's shown, that might be an alcoholic or might not be so successful. And, the geek that everybody teased and maybe stuffed in a locker, they're the one that grow up to be the incredible technology gurus that invent something. Because they stick with it. It doesn't matter somebody stuck me in a locker. I got to get out of this locker, and I still got to go write my science test.
Yeah.
Because my mom's going to kill me if I don't write the science test.
Exactly.
And then you become a famous scientist that solves the cure for cancer, and the world loves you, and you have 100 women that want to be married to you because you're a difference maker and a social change maker.
Oh, wow.
And maybe because you're rich.
You're funny.
Right?
Tell us your website and how can people find you?
Yes.
What should they get from you? Because you're inspiring human. I know you get sick and tired of hearing that, but I feel inspired by you.
But
I
inspired
really do.
to take action for you.
That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
I'm inspired by Tracy, not just because I'm admiring her on this pedestal. I'm inspired by Tracy because I am inspired to take my own action,
a bigger risk.
What is what I'm asking you guys to do.
Yes.
You are in charge of your next step.
Yes.
You're in charge of your next step. Not me, you.
Yes.
Not Tracy, you. Tracy, where do we find you?
So I'm Unstoppable Tracy everywhere.
I love it.
It's if you hashtag on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on
Unstoppable
Google.
Tracy.
That's my website.
Tell us about your book.
And so my book is not called Unstoppable Tracy.
It's called?
My book is called Unstoppable You. Be unstoppable.
Yeah.
And so it's not about exactly that, right? I'm not looking to be inspiring for you. I'm looking
that's
to
the lazy way, people.
Let you be unstoppable. You can be unstoppable in business, in life, in your dreams. And even myself that have had all these incredible dreams go way bigger than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
If I can encourage you, I manifested and believed, in sailing and in skiing, I could see the gate ahead, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this gate. And I look 3 gates ahead. Or in sailing, I'm going to get off that start line, or I'm going to round this mark seamlessly, and I see it. But I never did that in business. And my coach said, how come? And he's like, see it. So I saw myself on a stage, and I saw myself on a big stage, January 27, 2017. And I'm like, I want to be on a Tony Robbins stage. Well, 3 days ago, I opened for my incredible friends who are called Exceptional Finance.
Oh my gosh.
And they invited me to open for a man named Oliver Tam. Well, guess who Oliver is? Oliver's from Australia, and he owns Success Resources, and Success Resources are the event group that organized Tony Robbins' stage.
Oh my gosh.
And that just happened 2-3 days ago. And I saw it in my head. And there was all these different pieces. And I remember just a week before feeling like, okay, I've had this really great. I got this bestseller book, and I got on a stage with Jane Fonda, and I got on a stage with Mark Wahlberg. And,
it's happening.
And it was like going, and it was amazing. And I got this award for humanitarian and nominated Woman of Essence 2018. And then I just got nominated by Maxwell, and I'm in the top 30 at the moment, and they're still selecting who will be top 10 and who will be number 1. But I had this story about, well, I don't want to be inspiration or motivational speaker. Want to be someone that's a social change maker.
Right.
And, I can do Ken Blanchard and Stephen Covey, and I can do business leadership courses, highly certified in advanced
change
leadership.
Maker.
Yes. And support your businesses and your personal world in change and embracing it in a way that's bigger than imagined. But what I pictured at that January 2017 was like, okay, I'm going to get $2,000 a gig.
Yeah.
That's what I pictured. And that happened within 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I was in Sochi, Russia, and I was hired for $10,000.
Yes.
6 months later. So imagine if that January 2017 I had pictured, how about I make $10,000 a gig instead of $2,000 a gig? Right? We only dream is big, but you got to believe it. That limbic system, that gut feeling, has to believe that I'm worth more than $2,000. I'm worth $10,000.
And the getting to the believing is the getting to believing it is working on your affirmations.
Yes.
Working on your affirmations and working on your self-love.
Yes.
And your self-value. Anything else that you can give in terms of how to really believe it?
Well, so believe it. Do something that you believe. So I believe 2,000. So what made that happen?
Right.
And once that happened, I was able to dream bigger. So start with something that you can believe. I believe that I can phone 10 people today to let them know that I'm writing a book, or to let them know that I am a new life coach, or to let them know that I am going to get out of bed and leave this house. Like whatever your personal goal is exactly where you need to be, and it's totally fine. And maybe the struggle that you're facing right now in business or in depression or in talking to your teenager is exactly where you need to be, because you're learning something, or you're going to meet somebody, or 10 years from now you're going to have a conversation with somebody, and that life experience is going to add meaning and value and meat to a conversation in a deeper way. And you just don't realize that that's exactly why you're going through this right here, right now.
Totally.
And so just believe you're where you need to be. Don't make yourself wrong for it. Just embrace it. Say, oh, this is where I need to be. And what I focus on grows. So I'm going to focus on your vision. For me, it was to be on a stage with 35,000 people in front of me.
Woo!
And in January, I only manifested 2,500 people. And I did it in November of 2017. So now I'm manifesting a stage with 35,000 people.
Massive.
I don't even know if there's such a stage. But that's what I'm manifesting. Well, if it's not, I'm going to be the first one.
It doesn't have to be maybe a live stage. There could be a camera or something that is accessing.
And I have a TV show now, Unstoppable You.
Now, there you go.
And there's 35 million viewers. As soon as I manifested 35,000 reach, 35 million. Isn't that weird? 35,000, 35 million.
Yeah.
Like, what was that 35 thing?
35.
Right?
Well,
Maybe I'm going to date a 35-year-old man.
Well, 8, the number 8. 8 is success, infinity. You know?
Oh.
Yeah. 8, 3, 5.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So 3, 5, 8. 8 is, total success number. I love it.
Oh
my God. This has been so great.
Mm-hmm.
You're a really loving, gorgeous human. And I really appreciate that you're here helping us out with the experience of you can focus on something, and that which you focus on expands.
Yes.
And don't be inspired by us, by Tracy. Be inspired by yourself. Take action. The next right thing. What is the next right thing for you?
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Share this video.
On your page. You just hit the share button.
Yeah, on your page, in groups. Tell people about it, because I think this is really valuable information. I want to start our wrap up, and I want to say thank you again for coming. You are a doll. You are a doll.
Thank you,
You are
Victoria.
a wonderful human. Yeah. Thanks for gracing my presence, my home, my show, Courageous Conversations, today. You can find me on visualizationworks.com, which is my website, Unstoppable
Tracy.
Unstoppable Tracy is Tracy's website. I'm going to be putting this on all... Now, I've been blocked from sharing on groups until Friday, but I will totally share on Friday. But today, share. I'll share as much as I can, and then I'm asking friends to share for me.
Help
share
us
as well.
out.
Help us out. But this will get shared, and then on YouTube, on my channel, Ask Victoria, and subscribe to my channel if you can, if that feels right to you.
And subscribe to Unstoppable Tracy.
And subscribe to Unstoppable Tracy, and also LinkedIn and Instagram and all those wonderful places. So,
YouTube, she has Ask Victoria on YouTube.
Exactly, Ask Victoria. So I just want to say, brilliant minds are those that take courageous actions.
Aww.
So do it, okay?
Thank you.
Love you.
And can I say, Tracy,
Anything.
no E.
Tracy, no E.
No hands, no feet, no E. Tracy.
Oh my God, I am loving you. No hands, no feet, no E.
No E in Tracy.
No, so
Unstoppable Tracy.
Exactly.
No E.
Oh my God, you're funny. I love it. You've got a good sense of humor. I've seen her live, and she's awesome. So any chance you have to speak with her, to see her and watch her live, do.
Come tonight to the Fairmont.
Oh,
put on your gala gown and all your bling, and watch Ted Kennedy, and come.
Ted Kennedy or Ted Roosevelt?
Or tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Tonight is Junior. Teddy Jr. I'll say.
Teddy Jr. Okay, great. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, good. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to sign out and sign off. Big love. Big hugs. Have an amazing day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.